Wait, what? You making the What dates? Hello, Katie boy. Hello, James and Cheryl in Georgia. Whippoorwill. Hello, Hoops. Hello, Michelle in Prime Time. Hello, Joy. Hello, Mr. Lee. Hello, Jerry MacGyver. Bob, AKO the Okie guy. Hello, MJ. Totally awesome. Mr. Jensen. Shrimp Daddy. Whoa. Boy, it just went ripping. 73 in Southwest Florida. Snow just started in the Carolinas just a little while ago. Yeah. I'll get implants. Give me the RV instead of the front teeth. Hello, Don Nichols and Watchdog. I like that one. Hello, Intercessor. Ever looked at your portfolio and wondered, that's it? If you've glanced at your investments lately and felt underwhelmed, you're not alone. Look, 2025 told a very clear story. Gold is up 50%. Silver's up more than 60%. Meanwhile, the rest of the market is barely keeping up with inflation. Truth is, if you'd invested in gold the first time you thought about it, you'd be a profit right now. There's really only one reason not to own gold, and that's if you look out over the next 1, 2, even 10 years and genuinely see a world where the dollar gets stronger, inflation disappears, and our government debt magically shrinks. If you truly believe all that, then keep your cash where it's at. But if you don't, then it's time to protect yourself, because the real question isn't whether you should or shouldn't buy gold. The real question is whether you want to shield yourself from the risks ahead or ignore them till it's too late. So if you're ready to step into 2026 with a smarter, safer plan, one that truly protects your portfolio, now's the time for gold. Visit Noble Gold. My friends at Noble Gold make the process effortless, then walk you through every step with no pressure and no confusion so you can get started with total confidence. You can find them at markzgold.com or noblegoldinvestments.com today. You can also find the link in the description, YouTube and Rumble. Let's see, what did Decay say? Digital dinar infrastructure is already in pilot. Reserves are 11-month import cover. We think about that, 11 months. I wonder if the U.S. could. The answer is no. You can't do that either. And the Gazette's deficit caps just gave the CBI the green light. Really is getting interesting. They finally posted in the Gazette the rules for exchange, etc. Dinar notes, quality notes, all that for exchanges. They finally published that in the Gazette a few days ago. We reported on it weeks ago when it was passed and announced. Hey, Coupons Mom, 98th. Happy birthday. Some interesting things going on. We'll definitely get into it. Hello, Jules. Wrong shirt. It's a good shirt. Drone. They all have their opinion. They've all been told something. We'll find out what the truth is. Worry not. We'll talk about what very little bond update there is when it is time, so I don't have to repeat it. Stay calm till the 10-minute mark. No, you don't have new rates on Forex. Are some rates on Forex? Sure, but not the new and improved ones. So, Paula, the back seat's pretty big on the truck. Just jump on in. I do always get a kick out of seeing you ask. You know, Johnny, I probably should have worn a black and gold. Finally get excited. We got a quarterback back. And as soon as we get him back, we get a win against the surging Baltimore Ravens. Let's see, Melissa Halser's birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Melissa. And I'll try to keep up with it. Mitzi, wait. Maybe, I think maybe they'll get paid this week. That's the chatter. We're going to get into it. See, here's some VND news. Vietnam's trade surplus with the U.S. hits record highs. Exports surge despite tariffs. because a lot of the companies that were operating in China moved operations to Vietnam because of the tariffs. And we've got a better trade deal. So overall, it's lower and better for the consumer. But yeah, as the trade deficit shrinks with China, it's increasing with Vietnam because of it. Tit tat, push pull. Campfire Kathy, I don't know why the Gazette's offline, but I would not read too much into it. You're talking about an area that has lots of interruptions, internet interruptions, etc. Do not read too much into that one. Hannah, birthday, and Heavenly to Love My Life. Stacy Swordstone wants us to wish Hannah a happy birthday. Rick, today's my anniversary. You're going to sing about that? I really don't sing for anniversaries, but happy anniversary. Ellen, I don't believe that to be true. I believe that comes down to semantics and wording because we are told that exchanged as a currency, yes, ZIG, I think ZLW gets exchanged too. But the old bonds, that is being covered as a humanitarian. So it's being covered in totally different ways. So I guess you could say the statement could be factual if they're wording it just the right way and meaning just the right thing. But I'm not worried about that one. But if you are worried about it, maybe consider a different currency or silver or gold to be prepared. Well, wait, Trash Dog, what is this? We got hit with a 8.3 CME coronal mass ejection, I assume. Saturday triggered huge volcano in Hawaii. 7.1 earthquake in Alaska. Cheryl, I haven't heard that, Trash Dog. Where are we at? 11:08. All right, we still got a minute or two. Real, we still own the Bears. You did own the Bears on yesterday. Bears fans will probably be a little quiet today. Doesn't matter how good you are as a Bears fan. If you lose to Green Bay, your season's a wash. Kind of the same thing if you're a Green Bay fan. If you lose to Chicago, your season's a wash. It's no good. Back up, punt, reboot, come back and see us. I mean, you can win the Super Bowl, but if you don't beat Green Bay, if you're a Bears fan, you're going to catch heck, and vice versa. That's a good rivalry. I like it. I like it. Hello, Miss June. Yeah, supposed to announce that big money. I don't think I would call it bailout. I would consider it a firming of the foundation for American farmers. Now, I just wish they'd make something available for small farmers, something that they can actually do, get, develop, etc. Lily Pad, Sharon, tsunami warning issued for Japan ahead. Wait, after powerful 7.6 magnitude earthquake. Looks like somebody's upset and shaking the foundations. Yeah, what is it a hard push on silver this morning? 57.80. Let me double check this one. Let's reload to make certain. Grandson's 30th birthday present was a trip to the Packers game this weekend with his wife. Grants watched the baby so they could go. Oh, that's great, Ladybug. Silver 57.91. They're pushing, but they're not being very successful considering Monday morning is when they usually push the hardest to suppress prices, and they've only been able to do that. Yeah. Our guy, it would help. Although straight grass-fed beef really isn't as tasty. But there's healthy ways to feed them and expand the diet for more protein. So yeah, let's get silver over 60. Kathleen, not certain what you mean. So instructions on dinar recap, you mean when it does go, when it is time? I very much 100% expect instructions, numbers, contacts for banking institutions to be on dinar recaps. That's where I'll probably get mine. If they don't call me directly or send me a message or email directly like they have said they would, then I will get mine straight from recaps because I know they're going to send it to them. Tina's Emmanuel turns 20 today. Happy birthday, Emmanuel. If you're like me, you're like, wait a minute, how can my kids be that old? Because I'm not that old. Freedom Day. Oh, your Freedom Day. Wait, is this retirement or did your divorce become final? Ba-da. Valerie, thank you for that super sticker. It is very appreciated. I think it's past time to get to the news. Way past time to get to the news. Wait, we got more on the earthquake front. And then we're getting to it. 5.2 magnitude earthquake hits southeast of Vilichinsk, Russia. 5.1 magnitude earthquake hit southeast of Kocalir, Turkey. 4.9 magnitude earthquake hit southwest of Palca, Peru. Wow, it's busy. Like crazy busy. I wonder if it's just the reporting. In other words, is there always that many earthquakes? And we just notice it now because we can search the news, we can get the news, so it appears like or feels like there's more. Because that's the way it is with hurricanes. Used to, there's a hurricane somewhere on the other side of the world. We never heard about it. Now, because it gets all these things get constantly reported, people assume it's more real and it's happening more often when statistically it's just not true. You're just hearing about it more. So the question is this more earthquakes or is this just we're hearing about it more? That's the question. Now the boards will say they aren't really earthquakes, but why it has destroyed domes. Sometimes it's just earthquakes and it's not something nefarious or cleaning up or any of that coming on. All right, let's get to some news. Although we probably should and could and woulda, shoulda, couldas. Okay, we will. I do have one small bond update. I've got a paymaster that is helping to facilitate bond deals, exchanges, whatever you want to call them, deals, whatever, all around the globe in a number of locations. He did give me a little piece yesterday, later in the day, said some bond operations are still ongoing in Europe. Don't panic. They're still handling some things there. That doesn't slow anything down, and says they expect a very solid week in Asia this week from their bond deals, meaning they expect payment. We'll see how that one goes. And they've got some that are reaching conclusion in Europe. Now, I do find that interesting because they were in Europe a couple of weeks ago and then they moved to Asia. Now he's back in Europe for a deal first day or two of this week and then back to Asia. I don't think I'd like to travel that much. Texas Snake said possible news today. It's possible. Let's see. 4 weeks ago, they were averaging 30 to 50 earthquakes per day. Last week, they averaged over 100 per day. Okay, that is different. These are the important context things, guys. Always look for. Always look for. See, there's a big piece. Thank you for pulling that piece and doing that research for us. All right, let's get back to news. I shouldn't have ever taken the news time banner down. Let's put her up. Let's pitter patter. Let's get at her. UNHCR sends election results to the federal court for ratification. Just that they're making results official really doesn't mean anything. They just want us to know that their legal system, electoral system, works as advertised. And you know what they didn't use? Smartmatic. Oh, wait. Anybody? Iran's currency continues to bleed against the dollar. I reported news on the real, and I really got to take some time for some deep dives. They're talking about the Iranian Homan continues to decline. It is, let's see. According to the report's currency tracking websites, the Homan traded against the dollar at 124,800, traded against the euro at 145,450, and recorded against the pound at 166,500. For 1 pound gets you 166. $1 gets you 124,000. Homan recorded 122,150 against the dollar 2 days ago after breaking the barrier of 120,000. In other words, it is slipping fast. Food inflation over 66% this year. Massive value change. That's affecting the people of Iran. There were rumors over the weekend that it is expected for the Iranian president to step down in the coming days. What's real on that front? We will see. But that is the rumors running around the Middle East that the Iranian government may be trying to purge itself instead of collapsing, meaning they're looking for a fall guy. It's going to be interesting to watch this play out. Should make for a very interesting week. Timelines have run out for Maduro, so we should get some kind of escalation or decision, perhaps coming out of Venezuela this week. I hope for the Venezuelan people there's a change. I also, for freedom's sake, I don't think we should be going and enforcing these changes around the world to other countries. But I do. I hope and pray for a real republic, a real functioning Democrat. Well, I say democratic or republic, representative government for the Venezuelan people. They live in one of the wealthiest nations in the history of the world, and their people suffer and do without. Keep going. Al Sudani. Oh, I did find this kind of the interplay over the weekend with Sudani political disinformation, leaks, some of the sources it comes from, some really interesting deep dives going on in Iraq. Al Sudani reveals administrative mistake being exploited politically to ignite Iraq. They're talking about Hezbollah and Hamas being labeled foreign. They can't bank, they can't whatever. They don't have assets in Iraq. They don't have bank accounts in Iraq. Iraq simply had posted international. They had agreed to with all the countries that were sanctioning them. Just said, okay, you guys are sanctioned. We don't have a choice. We want to be in the international system. They can't bank with us. They weren't banking with us already, but it's being used to cause dissent. Now, they've done some research and deep dives in Iraq, and there are some articles out there on this one. Al Sudani confirms the implementation of a comprehensive. Wait, that's not the one I wanted in. There was another one in there talking about how they track a lot of the sites, supposed citizens reporting these things. It gets tracked back to China, Iran, some in Russia, but different accounts around the world that appear to be sowing discontent against the Sudani government and the changes. Guys, that is happening in the U.S. as well. That's happening in much of the world. It's happening in Europe, where it is basically bot farms, or I call it the globalist machine, targeting and trying to plant unrest for color revolutions all around the world. And as Iraq gets closer and closer to settled and change, the world order can change with it. So they're attacking it. Stay calm, because I love it. They are starting to out it. Similar to what Musk, Trump, some Europeans right now, it is getting interesting around the world. It really is a global war. It is a war against good and evil. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs meets the U.S. President's special envoy on Syria and Doha. Had long conversations about what Iraq can do, how they can help in Syria, how they want Iraq to help lead Syria to a new future. As I watch these guys, I really do see the axis around the world, the influential countries, etc., changing. Some of them re-emerging, some of them emerging for the first time. But it shows a serious effort. If there ever was white hats, it is starting to look like they are finally executing their plan. You're starting to see some sanity in government, leadership, real leadership, push back against some of the insane policies. Now, whether it's going to be enough, is it too little, too late? Is it just enough at just the right time? That's what we're watching for. Now we get to talk about borders a little bit. Border ports announce overall governance and development processes and their results in 2025. The Border Ports Authority announced on Sunday, December 7th, the overall governance and development processes and their results were achieved in 2025. They brought in a couple trillion, 2 trillion, 200 billion Iraqi dinar in fees that they were not previously getting with their updates. Think about that. Iraq, who has a fraction of the U.S. budget, uncorks about $2 billion in fees that were just disappearing and going people's pockets, and they're not fully implemented yet. They will finish having them implemented by early January. When I say fully, not really fully, because they still have some border crossings in northern Iraq and the Erbil region that they are cleaning up as well, but it is coming along quickly. That's a massive change. Think of how many people it can feed, how many bridges it can build, a hospital, lots of schools. Really is neat watching this transformation. Now, on to borders. Let's turn this one off, but let's focus because, guys, we sometimes lose focus. We get caught up in politics, etc. It really is all about the kids and the next generation and the future. Borders are talking about Tom Homan says 62,000 illegally smuggled children rescued so far in the Trump administration. As they were coming in undocumented, going to undocumented sources. White House border czar Tom Homan on December 7th said more than 60,000 children who were illegally smuggled into the United States have been located by the Trump administration, and that some were rescued from dire situations, including sex trafficking and forced labor. In an interview on Fox News show Fox and Friends on December 7th, Homan said that the previous administration lost track of 300,000 children who were smuggled into the United States, and saying some of these children were released to unvetted sponsors. Some of the conditions that they reported them being found in. Now, guys, when I say this, they say some, they give you your generalities. They do back these. They do give the press a whole list of links, etc., news sites, so that they can go in and vet that and check that to make certain it's real. It's not just Tom getting there saying, oh, no, we rescued all kinds of children. And then you go, really? Where? When? What? Which is something that the globalist machine does. They make these great generalities. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you're saying these things when nobody's saying those things. But it affects public opinion. So when they tell you these stories, it's real. I wish they would issue those to the American people to make it easier. They issue them to the press, expecting the press to be responsible and issue these links, citations, etc., and prove to the people, but they generally don't. So for me, this really is what it's all about. Read into it more, look at what's coming across the border, not coming across the border, and the efforts. To me, it really is all about the children. Trump expected to roll out a $12 billion farm aid program today. Does anybody know what time to expect this kind of announcement? Has anything been set? I could not find that in the news this morning. Hoping somebody can give us a time. I know it was supposed to be sometime in the afternoon, but I don't know if they have given us a firm time yet. Bond news. We already did that, Diane. We rolled that out very, very first thing when we started the news. Just go back. I think it was at the 12-minute mark, and you can get that. It was right at the 12-minute mark. Look for the news banner going up with it. So this one ought to be a big one. I'm going to wait and see what it looks like. A lot of this is because of the tariffs, China, soybeans, whether it's going to help small farmers or not. I will be monitoring that. I come from a proud farming family. There are a lot of farming families, exponentially larger, bigger, etc. But I'll have to admit, my heart will always be with the people that put the smoke in the stack and the seed in the ground. Fourth Reich. Musk strikes back at EU tyrants after X fine. Elon Musk is not taking the outrageous fine from Brussels bureaucrats lying down, lashing out at EU officialdom for taking on Nazi characteristics and oppressing their own citizens' best interests. They had a little over 300 million X users, about 1/3. We're talking like 100 million in Europe. So when you're talking about suppressing what they consider their number one source of free speech news, it has become the largest outlet of news for Europeans. It's true around the world, but that it's true in Europe. The backlash has been substantial and tremendous as we watch this one unfold. Let's get into some of what is being said. The tyrannical, unelected bureaucracy oppressing the people of Europe are in the second picture. This is Europe, Brussels, and Strasbourg, home of the EU operations. These are all the people. These are the people running it. I did like Catherine's done some really good reporting on this one. As Catherine Salgado reports from pjmedia.com, Musk also reshared a post about Irish teacher Enoch Burke, who was jailed for refusing to use transgender pronouns. Later replied to another user, so many politicians in Europe are traitors to their own people. Musk has been very upfront that he did this to provide free speech, that as all the social media giants were working with mainstream media, legacy news to engineer what we were being told. I mean, how many more stories do you need to hear about CIA people working within news agencies? How many more government disclosures you need to read about Mockingbird Media? How much more proof do you need before you start questioning the news and start embracing free source of news? Whether you have to think about it, you got to filter out, find out what's true, find out what's not. At least with free speech, you have the opportunity to find out what's true and what's not true. With controlled speech, like we had under the Biden administration and Europe largely has now, we really didn't have the tools to find out the truth. This really is a seismic shift, and Europeans are standing up. Some have been standing up all along, but more and more are starting to stand up and join that fight for free speech. The Fourth Reich, I did find that meme to be very, very, very meaningful. Musk confirmed that another user's report that X terminated the EU's commission advertising account was accurate in the wake of the fine. Yeah, we're not going to let you advertise, do your psyops on here. If you're going to fine us, you say it's not free speech. Well, here you go. We're going to control your misinformation. Watch this one. It has gotten very, very interesting. At the World Economic Forum annual meeting, the EU regulator threatens Twitter and Elon Musk with sanctions. She is very unhappy about unapproved thoughts being expressed freely on Twitter. Your thoughts are too dangerous for the EU bureaucrats to handle. This gets very interesting when you read a letter. Theory posting following the terrorist attacks by Hamas against Israel. We have indications of X being used to disseminate illegal content and disinformation in the EU. Urgent letter. They give a letter. You can read it, get the details. Of course, Musk saying our policy is that everything is open source, transparent approach that I know the EU supports. Aha. Please list the violations you allude to on X so that the public can see them. That's what I'm getting to. They make allegations that they are posting disinformation, misinformation, but they will not provide what is misinformation, how it's misinformation. They're just making the generality, and you're supposed to believe it. Trump's mean. I can't believe he is so racist. They don't have any proof, but they make the statement. Now, you've got a huge segment of the world in the American population that believe it. They don't have any proof, but they believe it because they were told it so and not offered any proof. They just say it over and over and over enough until you just believe it's true. 2 + 2 = 5. This is Animal Farm. This is 1984. Welcome to the Orwellian world of Europe. You're just supposed to believe it. You're not allowed to think. They tell you it's true, so it's true. They don't offer you any proof. And if they do, they'll offer you a small piece. Ignore the 99 pieces that show you it's BS. My take, I think it is time for Operation Boycott Europe. And I know we got so many European followers. I don't know how to handle this, and I'm open for your thoughts. What do? Do we refuse to buy any product made, shop with any European company, refuse to buy European cars, European goods until they allow free speech for their people? Does that just make things worse for the people? For me, I feel like we should boycott Europe. Don't visit it. Don't go there. Don't spend any money until the governments there realize they've made a mistake and they free their people. Unfortunately, the people have to suffer to do that. Normally, if you're trying to change a government, the people have to suffer so that they rise up. I don't mean rise up and tear things down, throw Molotov cocktails. No, I mean rise up at the ballot box or rise up and start running for office, demand transparency, demand accountability, demand prosecutors and law enforcement to go after their corrupt officials, I don't mean go in there and, I don't know, build pipe bombs and stuff and try to take something over. That is not the way to do it. So I'm not advocating violence. I'm advocating standing up. I know many already are. You're going to need more to stand up before Brussels backs down. And if there's something I can do to help, tell me, because I'm on the outside. I'm not there. If there's, I don't know, somebody I can interview from Europe, if there's a freedom thinking politician, a freedom thinking voice, there's a freedom thinking, I don't know, podcaster, tell me. I will highlight it. I will help in any way I can. I want the people of Europe to be free. And free speech is absolutely necessary. And a reminder, a history reminder, freedom of speech has never survived the confiscation of arms in any society, world history. Study it, look at it. Freedom of speech never survives the confiscation of arms, whether they're confiscating your clubs, your pocket knives, your machetes, your guns, whatever it is, or in Joe Biden's case, F 16s. Did I do all this part? Senior U.S. diplomats criticize EU policies that hit X with a $140 million fine. Just more people standing up, more politicians, J.D. Vance. Some very, very, to me, common sense observations for many others. French government's plan to label news outlet backfires spectacularly. France's liberté, égalité. Anyways, Macron tried. He tried to come in and label news sources. You can listen to them. You can't listen to them. But he said, look, it's not the government doing it. It's a panel of experts, professionals. Actually, I think he said it's a panel of professionals. Yes, a panel of professionals that they were trying to bring in. We're going to label all the news agencies, outlets, and let you know whether you could trust them or not in France. But it's not your government. It's some professionals. All right, let's think about this one. You know, some other people that are professionals, the mafia. They get paid to do their job. They're professionals. Wait a minute. El Chapo was a professional. He got paid to do his job. Now, who are these professionals? Who's paying them? What are their credentials? Are they doing a proper job, an improper? Where's the transparency in this? No. We're just going to label the news outlets as to which ones you can and can't listen to. Guys, this is just more of the authoritarian Orwellian overreach going on in Europe right now and around the world. Guys, don't make Europe too special. This is happening in the US. We have been fighting back. It's dominating Canadian news right now, unfortunately. Another place where I just wish for the freedom of our neighbors up north. And the firestorm that has come from Minnesota. Dr. Oz threatens to pull funding from Minnesota after $1 billion in Medicaid funding was stolen by fraudsters. The CMS. Oh, wait, what's the CMS? Does everybody know what the CMS is? Centers for Medicaid, Medicare Services. CMS. Went in, ordering them to fix it. They want a plan. They're going to have to report. I think it's like every 2 weeks or something on the process to clean it up. Now, I did find it too funny. Ilyar Omar comes out after saying, oh, my God, I can't believe this money was going to terrorists in Somalia. Oh, can't believe. Wait, some people were taking advantage of this thing. They were buying houses and luxury cars and offshore stuff. But you should go after all of them, all these guilty people that she enabled it and probably got money from it. I mean, we'll see. She may not have. Allegedly got dollars out of it. We'll see how this one plays out. But she's like, oh, yeah, we definitely need to go after these dirty, crooked people. Boy, that sounds like something I've heard for years and years and years out of the left and the rhinos. They never do, but they say, oh, yeah, as they try to put the blame on somebody else. They can't drag this movie much longer. It is coming to the culmination. It's true as Macron's wife. All right. Somebody, mods, where you at in there? Clean that one. Thank you. You're already on it. Racism can be found at the intersection of ignorance and hate. You're not better because you're born white. You're not better because you're born black. You're not better because you're born one color or another. I don't care if you're pink or fuchsia. It's the content of your character and your work ethic, period. And that's how you should be judged. Yeah, we had somebody posting some purposeful content to cause conflict. Wow, she was worth 65 grand in 2020, 30 million in 2024. I don't know how true that is, but I would not be surprised at all. Guy I thought Somalia found in Minnesota 3,000 years ago. Yep. Minnesota has 2 months to clean up their funding or lose it. It's going to cost them. Said, hey, I hope you got a piggy bank. Actually, what are the exact terms he used? Either fix this in 60 days or start looking under your couch for spare change because we're done footing the bill for your incompetence, Oz announced on December 5th. CMS will require Minnesota officials to provide weekly updates for 6 months on the actions it's taking to stop fraud and to freeze enrollment of high-risk providers. They had providers that didn't even exist. They were just taking the check. They had patients that did exist. They just weren't actually patients. They just said they were patients to help the fraud, and they got a kickback. Oh, it's rough. Karen said, hi, Mark, please keep my family in your prayers. We lost our precious mama on Friday. Guys, never hesitate. I don't want the chat dominated by it, but don't hesitate when you have an urgent prayer request to post it in there. Also, we have a prayer request room over at the Voices of Freedom, and I believe Kukla has one over at her Telegram operation. The official one's Voice of Freedom for me. Look, I don't know if Macron's wife or isn't, but a simple DNA test would settle everything. It would be over. The conversation wouldn't be going on. We wouldn't be spending money with attorneys. There wouldn't be legal back and forth. There wouldn't be slander charges. None of that. It is a very, very, very simple. Couple $100, prove it. Not even a couple $100. $100 will prove it. Let's see, Joyce, we had a surplus when Walls came in, and now our Democratic congressman not only spent that, but put us in debt. Minnesota does need help. Much of the world needs help. Reading a few of these. We are going to have the Mushroom Lady shortly, guys, after we wrap up news, and I'll stay in chat for, well, 1, to hang out with you, and 2, to answer some questions. Let's see, Tilly Bob, if the dinar floats at 1-to-1, would the dong follow suit? Yeah, absolutely. But no part of me thinks it's going to float at 1-to-1. I think it's going to be higher than that. But would the dong go at the same time? I very much believe so. Richard. Okay, Mark, with Iraq coming out and saying 1310 legally ends the 31st, they're probably going to go to a managed float. Does that give big speculators a huge clue? It really could, Richard. So what would you do if you were Iraq? 1, maybe leave it pegged after to throw off the timing, maybe go before December 31st. How do you think you would handle it if you needed to do this and you needed people not to take complete advantage of it? To me, I would try to get it done before. See, redeemed patriot prayers from a friend, Don. Pancreatic cancer is so scary. Minnesota is a beautiful state. Yeah, simple prostate exam. Steelers. Oh, no, they won one. It's all about having a quarterback back. Oh, gut feeling. My gut feeling's exactly where it was 2 weeks ago. Last week, 3 weeks ago. I believe we're going to see somewhere December 2nd and January 2nd. And we're already 6 days into that. So I think we're going to see. I could be totally wrong. I've been wrong in the past. Been right about a lot in the past as well. UN forces, UNAMI ends descent. There are so many things happening in Iraq that come together December 31st. The question is do they hold it until right after and then let things rip? Do they go before? Just know that the roadblocks are being removed. The Bills stole one from the Bengals. Graced. I think the way you think, Graced. Grace says, blessings, Mark, considering the CBI rate expires the end of December 2025. I believe it would be smart to do it before the new year so everyone is not expecting it for New Year's. See, that's the way I think too. I just don't know if it's because I'm very biased and want it. Is it based on good information? I believe it's based on good information. But you got to ask yourself that one whenever you look at those. Jags crushed the Colts. Jags have the potential to be a world-class team. They just can't get out of their own way too often. But that's true of a lot of teams. I think the Jags have good potential. Robert, I like that. When I put more skin into the game, I'm so positive. I'm with you. If I could do it right now, I've just kind of covered up. Yeah. Don't have time to be throwing it there, but I want to. Let's see, Cody Boy, Mark, all government appointed, hired, elected officials should have a probation periods and regular evaluations. I agree with you. We, the people, should have a qualification standard. Dude, I'm with you. Yeah, we're definitely seeing more and more military action in the area. A lot of it is being better contained now in certain areas, so it's not as obvious, but it's considerable. And honestly, most of the people I've talked to on the island, I mean, you've got some that are, fiercely scream about independence or they don't need the United States. They've never done the math or they wouldn't say that. Not that everything's been fair. Absolutely not. Compared to Spain's rule here, absolutely exponentially better. I mean, they still had basic slavery back then. They called it tenant farming, but majority of people weren't even allowed to own land. It was something else if you truly study the history. It got screwed by the Jones Act and it got screwed by NAFTA, GAFTA, and corruption in its own government. Realistic windows from the 15th through the 1st, and that window gets smaller every day. Joe, that's exactly the way I look at it. The window gets smaller every day. I don't believe Hawaii is anything significant. It's got a neat location. But those locations, as technology improves, become less and less important. I know I love the people here, but they're like people anywhere. The quality of their news can affect their thinking. True all around the world. Serfs, that's basically what we had here. And that's what they're trying to bring us back in Europe. What they're trying to bring us back in the US. That's what they're trying to bring back around the entire world. Serfs. Gloria. Let's see. Thoughts on Trump's Department of Education saying effectively nursing is not a profession, student loans. I don't know. Not certain. Nursing to me is very much a profession. I don't know. I may not properly understand only Roy Hobbs. Knight Rider says, I hear the 19th. What do you guys, where's your gut? Where's your gut? What are you hearing? I know many of you guys chase news from a million different sources. Many of you guys have your favorite source, and I'm not that one for many of you. You appreciate it, you enjoy it, you come in, you listen. What do you think the exchange rate will be for the U.S. dollar? Well, U.S. dollar is kind of our measuring stick. So what do I think everything's going to look like opposed or paired with it? I think that's probably more of the question. Or are you asking what I think the rates are going to be? The U.S. dollar needs to be devalued because we don't have the assets to back it. We've printed too many. So we got a couple of options. We take those assets, we reset and back a new currency. Or if we keep our existing currency, we look at the total number of assets supporting it, what we can put behind it, and then we greatly devalue it. Steven, I think that's roughly around where the managed float will start. That is what makes the most sense when I do the math. And I look at what has been said historically for the last 25 years in Iraq. Well, actually, 23 years or so. Surfs, eat bugs, be happy. I only eat ocean bugs, aka crabs and lobsters and shrimps. Okay, just shrimp. Shrimp's really isn't a thing, but it gets used a lot. See, Bo Pawnee thinks between the 10th and the 14th. I could live with that. I should probably leave that highlighted a little longer. Minnesota News has a place where you can go to see where ICE is at, talk about a setup for chaos, and our police just stand there allowing it. It really is, old woman, when you think about it. It is nuts. Uh, Seafood. Give me a good old-fashioned seafood boil. I do love them. Properly, like blackened grouper or something. Oh, my. Robert, let's get her done before your birthday, man, all right? Let's see, when Kuwait had their reset, I knew nothing about it. Wonder how many people will know when Iraq does. Not many. Kevin, exactly. We know about it because we're in the middle of it. We talk about it, we breathe it, we think it. But the overwhelming majority of the world, I'm talking like 99% plus, has no clue what's a coming. I would garner a guess. Many people know that change is coming. They can feel it, they can see it, but they don't know the why or the reason. They just know it feels unsettled. A lot of us need it before Christmas. I don't know if we're going to get it or not. I am hopeful. MS Solutions, I can live with that one for your birthday. Dong, I still think Dongs can come in the low twos and probably do a managed float too, but I think that low two is going to seem much higher because I do think they're going to devalue the US dollar so that they can move towards a parity level. We're going to see. It's going to be interesting. We'll see how close I am, how far off I am. My youngest daughter, Sarah, turned 33 Sunday. Single mom, 5 kids, supports them with no spousal support. Oh, she's a single mom with 5 kids. Wow. She's kicking butt. Lily Pad giving us some more breaking news. As many as 20 House Republicans are expected to announce their retirements in the coming weeks, with most of them coming from safely Republican districts. That many people changing all at the same time. It does make you scratch your head and go, why? My belief is the RNC, the Republican, as we call it, the RNC is a dead party and they just don't know it yet. That's my belief. That is my belief that the way they look at it, when I say they look at it, the Mitt Romneys, the rhinos, the way they look at it is that they have a wolf by the ears with the MAGA movement. But I think they're absolutely wrong. The MAGA movement dominates it now. It's not very well organized, but it dominates the Republican Party now and is forcing them along. Problem is the money still resides to push the race and the infrastructure amongst the elite. We got to stop asking them. Stop. If you want to run as a Republican for an office, a local office, etc., stop going to your Republican National Committee. Stop going to your RNC groups. This is my suggestion. Do it yourself. Give the title. Make it all about Make America. Make it all about, the priorities and common sense. And we've got to start running separate from without the RNC money because they're picking who gets to run and who doesn't get to run. They're engineering it. And they're primarying and going after the Make America Great Again crew, or should I say the Sovereign crew, the America First crew. Got to stop asking them. Redheaded Mimi, grandson Lucas's 4th. Happy birthday to Lucas. Not Mushroom Lucas, but 4-year-old Lucas. Cat John, yeah, why do we need 2 parties? Because they've manipulated the system enough. So you ask yourself, is it going to be easier to take over one of the parties, or is it going to be easier to form another one and knock off the party system It's going to be easier to take over one of the parties. I don't like that answer, but I think it's the answer. Elise Stefanik running for New York governor. I think she actually has a shot. Yeah, Lewis Herms is planning on joining us tomorrow, guys, unless there is a change. History repeat. Well, it doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it often rhymes. It is very, very, very cyclical. Maybe just the character changes, the cast lineup, but it pretty much same storyline over and over and over. Let's see. Jack Wagon, do you think Trump administration will try to throw in some kind of financial relief before Christmas? I don't know how they possibly can, Jack Wagon. When you do the math, you do the numbers, you look at what it requires and the voting, et cetera. I do not see how they can get a tariff payment out, a Doge payment out. I just don't see it. I wish I could see it, but I just don't see it. All right, birthdays, and then we're going to get to the mushroom ladies, and I'm going to hang out in chat. Melissa, Hannah, the big man, Lucas, Emmanuel, anybody else sound off so your friends can wish you happy birthday. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. Make all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating. For all those celebrating. I mean, it really is. If you thought about it, if there was any kind of organization on the America First agenda, instead of fighting amongst ourselves, it's a golden time as the Democratic Party continues to sell out to its extreme basis. It's leaving a tremendous, historic opportunity to change the face of the nation in a positive, family first way. We'll see if any leaders step into that role. All right, let's get the ladies in here. They're prettier to look at than me anyways.
Hey. Good morning, Mark. How are you?
I am good. How about you all?
We're fantastic. We're fantastic. We so appreciate being here. We so appreciate the platform, but I have to tell you something really cute. So on the last show that we were on, you posted the do not eat list at Thanksgiving, and Kukla put it up in the Telegram room. I got the cutest text the other day from a woman that said, during our Thanksgiving dinner, and Uncle went to give our dog a piece of turkey skin. Our 8-year-old yelled, Uncle Alan, didn't you read the do not feed list? It's on the refrigerator. Yeah. And she said, by the way, it pretty much saved that dog from getting something that he shouldn't have had. So it was pretty cool. So, we put those out, and we're so happy that people take advantage of using them and post them and read them. Yeah. So thank you for that. We appreciate that you posted it. We've got another one coming up for Christmas that Kukla's doing for us. Yeah. So.
All right, I'm going to step into the background so they're not staring at me and listen. And I am here listening. And if you need things pulled up, I'm paying attention.
We're good. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to do a little update on the vaccine. Lots of text messages, lots of people asking us questions about this new mRNA vaccine. And we've done a little bit more of deep diving. So we love our fur babies. We want to keep our fur babies around longer and keep them around healthier. And one of the things that's going on right now is that there is a crazy new vaccine called Novavax that has been pushed through the FDA in less than 14 days. 38 animals tested, 35 of them then euthanized. They're saying they euthanized them to see what it had done to their body in a whole 14 days. But this is the scary part. It is an mRNA self-replicating, you know what that means, Google it, vaccine. It also is an saRNA vaccine, which means it can be transmitted through saliva to us. So I kiss on my dog all the time. He licks me all the time. If my dog had this vaccine, and you just Google the information on it, it's a one shot fits everything. The veterinarians are loving their little stipend they're getting for encouraging all of us to give our vaccines to the dogs. Please, 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 public service announcement, just do some research on it. It's from Merck. It's called Novavax. And before you let your vet just give it to you randomly. Ask some questions, because that's what we're here for. You know, we're animal lovers. We are the mushroom ladies. I'm Diana, and Kristen is right there. Oh, I got it right. Kristen's right there. And we're both certified in pet nutrition. I'm certified in holistic pet care and CBD for animals and humans. And Kristen is certified in mycology. We are not veterinarians. We are not giving medical advice. And today we just are going to do a little bit more deep diving into our product line, because we haven't done that for a while. We've had a lot of people asking questions that make us realize that we haven't spent a whole lot of time going over each individual product. We deal with our flagship mushroom, which is the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. It has got 400 medical studies as to what it can do for the immune system. It's so simple. It just helps the immune system do the job that God had intended it to do. I am going to tell my cancer story quickly, because every time I tell it, someone reaches out to me, and that makes me feel so good. For example, your friend Dan, Redeem Patriot, with pancreatic cancer. I'm so sad for him, but please have him reach out to me at the original MarkZpets@gmail.com. Maybe we can set up a call. Maybe we can chat a little bit about, my experience and what I went through and how we've helped so many people. So my story is pretty simple. I got diagnosed with cancer in 2020 March, right at the beginning of the crazy pandemic. And they told me I had to wait 30 days before they could operate. They had to get it approved through a couple boards. It wasn't an insurance issue, because, by the way, my insurance told me they wouldn't do any cancer treatment support. So 30 days, I took the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. I took the one in the green, which Kristen's going to talk about. It's a capsule. It opens. And I took 10 of them a day, which is 3 times the normal amount. 30 days later, I got the call that I had been approved for surgery. I went in for pre-op blood work, only to find out that I was in remission. My doctor called me and said, "What are you doing?" And I thought that was the most bizarre question. And then he informed me that I was in remission. Well, remission, I really didn't know what it meant. I was new to the whole cancer world. And he said, well, it means that, the cancer has stopped. You stopped. Everything's in good shape. This is really good. You have a CEA number, which is how they measure colon cancer, and it should have been 2.5. It was off the charts, but that day it was 0.05. I am 5 years, 8 months later, and I am still 0.05. Now, I did do chemotherapy. And why did I do that? People will ask. If you're in remission, why did you do chemotherapy? Well, the reoccurrence rate with the type of cancer I had was 40% without chemotherapy, 10% with chemotherapy. Those are big numbers. But I also read an incredible study by Sloan Kettering on how this mushroom, the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, could actually complement chemotherapy. That was pretty much my deciding factor with the 40% reoccurrence scare to do chemotherapy with the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. I did 10 of these a day, all through chemo. I didn't look like a chemo patient. I didn't feel like a chemo patient. I didn't lose my hair. Yeah, I had some bad days. Kristen, you were there. There were some bad days. There were days my husband had to pretty much carry me to bed. But at the end of the day, I came out of this journey better than I went in. My blood work, my bone density, everything that chemotherapy is supposed to ravage and destroy, it was doing its job, but my immune system was so strong because of the support that it had received from the Coriolis versicolor mushroom that literally it was repairing, replenishing, rebuilding, rejuvenating faster than it was being destroyed. So it was keeping ahead of the process. So when I came out of this journey 1 year later, I was actually healthier than when I started, which is unheard of because most people going through chemo, at the end, they have to have a couple years to recover. We talked to a girl the other day, Kristen and I, on podcast. She said 10 years. She still hasn't recovered from chemotherapy. But here we are looking at my story and hundreds of others. So this is not a miracle. It is not a cure. It is not a treatment. It is just something that God put on our planet so that we could help our fur babies stick around longer and also help us stick around longer and healthier. And I'm going to turn it over to Kristen. And she's the birthday girl, by the way. Happy birthday, Kristen. Mark was singing to you, I'm sure. And Yeah, let's just go through our product line, and then we're going to end with some Christmas tips. Yeah, it's birthday. Yep. Um, and let's move on with our product line. So take it away, Kristen.
Absolutely. And Diana, you said something so powerful that this mushroom, it doesn't cure or mitigate anything. It just supports the immune system. And so regardless of what our pets are going through, whether they're fighting the big C, if they have growths, if they have allergies or autoimmune seizures, ear infections, eye infections, anal abscesses, gum and teeth problems. I see someone whose pet's been losing hair, which sometimes comes from a lack of minerals or malnourishment or malnutrition or some type of imbalance inside of the body. The immune system knows what to do. It knows what to do. It goes to the source of whatever's creating these problems. It fights whatever's attacking the body, whatever foreign invaders are there. It rebalances, it regulates, it rebuilds the tendons and the ligaments. I hear about ACL tears and, just all of these different things that our pets are going through. The immune system knows. So we got to get it that support. That should always be our first thing. So we do have a couple different ways that you can get this immune support into your pets that are much more fun for you and your pets. To give them, we have our Mush Puppies and our Mush Puppies Plus, which are just little cookies that you can give them that have the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, but they also have glucosamine, carotene, and chondroitin in them for additional hip and joint health. And we do ship to 51 different countries, including Canada. So when you go to markzpets.com, and you click on shop now, there's a little flag in the upper right-hand corner that you can click and you can see all of the different countries that we're able to ship to. But these Mush Puppies are really fun treats that you can give them that will help them get all that natural support. If your dog does have sensitive teeth, maybe some gum disease or issues, maybe no teeth at all, we also have our Mush Puppies Easy Chews. And you can snap them in half and they're just a lot softer and easier for them to chew. We had to add those because more and more pets are having teeth problems. And then we also have our special sauce for dogs and cats, which is a handmade gravy that you just mix a little bit in with their food every day. And for the cat that's losing all the hair that I saw in the comments, that special sauce will make a big difference. Now, it's taken a very long time for your cat to get to this point where they start losing their hair or it gets brittle or coarse or losing its color, whatever it may be. So it does take a little bit longer for the body to rebalance that and to draw the nutrients and the minerals that it needs. But that special sauce not only has Coriolis versicolor mushroom, but it also has additional minerals and vitamins and antioxidants that are going to help your cat deal with that and help the hair grow back. We also have mush ponies for all of our equine friends. So any horses, goats, we have all different types, llamas, all different types, donkeys, all types of equines. Love the mush ponies. It has a lot more of the Coriolis versicolor mushroom in it, so you don't have to give them as much. We also like to use this for larger dogs that are practically the size of horses, or maybe dogs that have more serious conditions that they're dealing with. We want to get extra Coriolis versicolor mushroom into their system because it's just a whole food. It doesn't interact with any medications or treatments. Your pet can't get addicted. They can't overdose. There are no side effects. So the more of the Coriolis versicolor that you get into their system, the better it is for them. So those are all of the different ways that we can get the Coriolis versicolor mushroom into our pets. But like I said a little bit earlier, a lot of our pets are minerally depleted. Oh, the Mojos. Thank you, Diana. We also have these little pieces of hand-cut beef liver with the Coriolis versicolor. These are great little training treats you can give your pets, and they love them. I've seen dogs go absolutely wild over them, but they're good for all carnivores. So rats, ferrets, cats, dogs, anything that eats meats, marathon runners like to put them in their pocket and snack on them while they're running.
Chickens.
Yeah,
we have an 11-year-old chicken now on our Mojos, and he's doing great. 11 years old. I didn't know they lived that long, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really helpful and fun little treat there. Now, we also want to make sure we're getting minerals into our pets, especially dogs. Most of the foods that we're giving them are minerally depleted. And so we're seeing they're going and chewing on rocks and wood and grass and dirt. That's their way of telling you that their body needs minerals. So we do have some fun toys that you can give them that have antler splits and antler sticks on them. These are great sources of all of the essential minerals that our pets need, including collagen. As pets get older, they stop producing collagen, and there's a good collagen inside of the antler powder. And then we even bake it into little dog biscuits called the Bucky Bites if you want to make sure that your pet's getting all of those essential minerals that they need. And the lipids, amino acids, calcium, I can go on and on. There's so many minerals in it. And that also has glucosamine, keratin, and chondroitin for the hip and joint health. Now, for the play toys, we also take that antler split and we add it to a piece of hemp rope. And this is completely untreated hemp rope. So this is a 100% natural toy because our pets are swallowing bits and pieces of the toys that we're giving them. And we're finding bleach stuffing, styrofoam, plastic, tennis balls that have lots of chemicals in them.
That hemp rope and the catnip or the one for the cat. Holy crap, that cat went bonkers. My goodness.
Yeah, they do. And the thing about this is important, Mark, is that when you get the nipster, don't throw the bag away because it's loaded with amazing, fresh, all natural organic catnip. So you can put this back in, shake it up, and then have all night entertainment watching your cat go bonkers, right?
Yep. And that's if you would do stocking stuffers for your pets, which are becoming more and more popular. If you have any millennials out there, any millennial kids, they're doing stockings for their pets, just so you know. Yeah. So the special sauce is a great stocking stuffer. We have little mini packs of the mush puppies. We have those hemp ropes. Those all make great stocking stuffers for the pets, and they're guilt-free. You know that they're going to be so good for them and help their bodies get the support that it needs. And then we also have a new thing that we've added. It's the Body Balm Plus for skin and paws and noses. We've been noticing that they've been getting really dry and cracked. And so this helps to nourish the paws and the noses. And it helps to keep them nourished and hydrated. And it has the reishi mushroom in it, which is anti-inflammatory as well. So that's very helpful. And then the last thing I want to talk about for our pets is our food line. This is so important because most of the foods, 90% of the foods and treats that we get are made from only 3 manufacturers, and those are all candy companies. So we want to get our pets on better foods. Almost all of the foods that we get from the stores are minerally depleted, also taurine depleted. They don't have taurine in them, and our pets need taurine for their hair, for their coats, for their vision, for their muscle recovery, and keeping their muscles strong and healthy. There's so many reasons why taurine is important. So we have a food line that includes taurine, naturally sourced taurine, as well as prebiotics and probiotics to help restore their healthy gut microbiome, because it just gets completely out of whack because of all the carcinogens and preservatives and artificial synthetic things that are in the foods. It just throws their digestive system out of whack. So we have kibble for dogs and cats with the taurine and the prebiotics and probiotics. We also have canned food for dogs and cats with the taurine and the prebiotics and probiotics. The canned food also includes the little bit of the Coriolis versicolor as well, which acts as a prebiotic. So we added it into the foods, into the canned food as well. And then we also have our freeze-dried food for dogs and cats. This is closer to the optimal diet. It's more hydrated. The freeze-drying process retains 200% more nutrients. So we add the immune-supporting Coriolis versicolor to it. We add mineral-rich antler powder. So this freeze-dried food is really good option. If you can't do complete meal replacement, a lot of people will get it and just add it as a little topper to the food because they get all those additional supplements in it. And it also helps to hydrate the food a little more. Now, we'll cover the chill doggies in a few minutes. Diana's going to go over that. But a lot, you heard Diana's story with what she dealt with. We have a lot of people all the time that are asking. I see people asking their son is losing weight. And I see people asking about, cognitive conditions and all of these different types of things, and asking if we have anything for people. And we do have a human section of the website as well, because so many people are dealing with so much stuff unnecessarily, and they need this natural ally that God's created us. They need this additional mushroom support. So we do have Coriolis versicolor for people in our Enforce capsules, which is the green bottle. You can pop these open and there's a powder inside, so you can even mix it with food. You can mix it with smoothies or tea, whatever you want. And this is a great way. We recommend 1 capsule for every 50 pounds for people just for general well-being. If you're dealing with something you're concerned about, we recommend you maybe double that at first until you start to see some resolution. And then if you're dealing with something more catastrophic like Diana, we recommend a triple or quadruple that at first, just so that you can get the immune system modulated and functioning optimally as you're going through that. Now, we also have the Inforce Plus, which is the yellow bottle. This has the Coriolis versicolor mushroom and a little bit of reishi mushroom in it, which is an alkalinizing mushroom. Try to say that 5 times fast. Good. And there's so many studies done on how the reishi mushroom helps to regulate blood pressure levels, blood sugar levels, cholesterol levels. So the reishi mushroom is great for adrenal support as well. Now for kids, we have our 100% natural gummies, which I have not found 100% natural gummies anywhere. And so we're so excited about these. All of our products are 100% natural with nothing artificial or synthetic. So the body knows how to metabolize it and use it. And we also have our chocolate chip cookies and our oatmeal cookies. So any grandparents out there, again, great stocking stuffers to put those gummies or those cookies in the stockings and give our kids and our grandkids the gift of health and well-being this year. It's better than the chocolates and all the other stuff that we put in the stockings. And then we do have a couple of complementary mushrooms as well that you can take along with the Coriolis versicolor mushroom that can help you to accelerate your progress. We have the Restore, which is the red bottle. This is the maitake mushroom. Really great for liver and pancreas support, especially as our body's overloaded with toxins. It helps us to detox faster. We have the Inforce Clarity, which is the blue bottle. This is the lion's mane mushroom. And there are so many studies that have been done on the lion's mane mushroom and the nerve and brain support that it provides. So if we are dealing with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, neuropathy, dementia, look up the studies on lion's mane and how it impacts those cognitive disorders and how it's really helping. It's also helping people maintain a healthy weight. So there are a lot of benefits to the lion's mane mushroom. And then we also have our Inforce Shield, which is the shiitake mushroom. And this is an excellent mushroom, has a lot of natural antioxidants in it. It stores vitamin D, so it's a great source for that. Also helps to promote the body's own viral response, which is incredible. Look up the shiitake mushroom and how it helps to do that. It's really amazing. And it's great for cardiovascular support. So all of those you can take along with the Coriolis versicolor, and it can help to accelerate your progress, give you a more targeted approach. And then we also have 2 new products we're so excited about, which you heard me talk a little bit about the Body Balm Plus for pets, but people can also use it as well. If you have dry or cracked skin, post-sun recovery, joint and muscle soothing, chapped lips or windburned, cuticle or nail care, minor skin irritations like scrapes, bug bites, or rough patches on the skin. It really helps. The reishi helps to calm that inflammation, and the calendula oil in it helps to calm that inflammation and supports the natural recovery. Also, pregnancy and stretch mark supports. It really helps to improve elasticity. And Diana, myself, we use it as a nighttime skin ritual. Every night we put it on, and it just hydrates and nourishes the skin. We also have our longevity gel, which is an aloe vera gel that has the adaptogen mushrooms like the reishi, shiitake, and maitake mushrooms in it. Helps to age more gracefully, increases longevity. There are so many benefits to it. All you do is you take 1 or 2 teaspoons in a day and add it into your smoothies or juice or even your tea. For your pet, you can add it into their water as a hydration enhancer. But it does have not only reishi, shiitake, and maitake, but amla and MSM and Irish sea moss, just all of these mineral-rich botanicals and adaptogenic mushrooms that are known to support immune balance and detoxification and graceful aging. Also helps your own body produce more collagen. So it increases your collagen production in your body, which we really need as we age. There's so many wonderful benefits for this beauty and longevity gel. Really exciting. But as you can tell, I went through a lot of information really fast. You can always watch the replay of this because they just had a lot to cover in a short amount of time. But we're so confident, regardless of what you're experiencing with your pet or with yourself, over 90% of the time, we're getting reports back on all of these positive results and all of these changes and what people are experiencing. And that's why we're so passionate. And we really want to get this out there, because God has given us everything we need, all in nature for us. And we just have to get nature back into the homes. We have to restore things back to the natural order and the way that God intended it. And by doing that, we truly can all change the way that pets and people are being treated and be a part of the restoration of creation. So we're so excited for what we're experiencing. I'm going to turn it back over to Diana to share some of the Christmas tips and tricks. And I kind of spoiled it a little bit with the stocking stuffers.
Oh, I love it though. There's so many questions. Let me get to the answers first. I'm reading the website. Terry recalls. The website is MarkZPets.com. MarkZPets.com. Somebody said they did Easter baskets for their animals too. Hey, we all do. I've been doing stockings for my dogs forever. I love the black lab eating freeze-dried plus meat and vitamins, constantly chewing her paws, not chewing through her booties. Okay, so probably we've got mineral issues going on there. What I would definitely do is please reach out to me, email me at the original MarkZ@gmail.com. I will answer within 24 hours. Let's talk a little bit about what we can do to help that baby. Mutt mitts, high frequency mutt mints, a couple a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. Just wait and see how the breath starts to improve a little bit. And then HBL, the food. Oh, thank you for that great testimonial that your dogs love the Sequoia food. My dog's been on it. He's 11 years old. He's been on it since day one that we introduced it in 2017, 18. And he's like a puppy. And oh, it's so good for them. And the thing about our food, sometimes people will say, the food's a little pricey. But you have to look at it for apples to apples. You feed less of our food. So what does that mean when you feed less? Less poop to clean up. So it ends up being a really good value. And if you go on Smart Ship, it's $10 shipping, which is so nice to just have it come every day, every month to your house, and you don't have to go get it. Zoom, you had said that you thought our website might have been hacked. I don't think so. MarkZPets.com. If you have any trouble, go to the original MarkZ at Gmail. Pets, don't forget pets at gmail.com. And then the original Larry, the food, that was a good. Okay. And then Born and Bred in Oregon. Your dog has got limited issues of what he can and can't eat. Yes, we do have some foods that would help. I'm thinking the canned food. But if you would reach out to me via email, I will definitely do something to help you out. Someone asked about stress in cats. Well, funny you would say that. First of all, they have to feel better. A lot of times cats are stressed out because they don't feel good. Mike Barra is a perfect example. He had a cat that really was having issues, and he had to struggle with getting the cat to change its eating habits from Twinkies and donuts, because he was feeding it really bad food. Sorry, Mike, but you were. And he had to work really hard to get the cat to start accepting the good stuff because, like a kid, they're going to eat the candy instead of the broccoli, right? And so after a while, we got his cat to take the super sauce and our cat food. And it's like a different animal. The hair's not falling out. She's not as stressed out. It's just amazing to see the difference. And then discount. Somebody asked about discount. MarkZPets.com already has a built-in discount over and above retail. So that just go there and order from that site. And, guys, when you go to that site, you support this community. Every time there's a fundraiser, we contribute. Every time there's an ATB event, we contribute. We do contests. We do so many things to help this community feed their animals when they're doing the food drive. So every time you order, it helps this community, and we do appreciate that. And kind of like, why give your money to the big box stores that don't care? These podcasters are working their butts off. Mark is doing 10 shows a week or whatever it is. It's ridiculous. And they have to come up with content. They have to take away from their own personal life, from their family life to do this to support us. And we appreciate it so much. So just go to the website, check it out, see if there's something that you can purchase to support it. And we're going to end with Christmas. Okay. Christmas is a crazy time for animals. Like Kristen said, stocking stuffers, so much fun. The catnipster, the hemp rope, the antlers, they're such good stocking stuffers. And then for the kids, oh my gosh, we have grandmas doing the granny pack where they're giving the vitamins and the cookies putting them in the stockings, and then giving them a year-long subscription. So basically, grandma is giving them the gift of health, or grandpa. This is amazing. And every morning, the mom can say, hey, would you want one of grandma and grandpa's cookies, or you want one of grandma and grandpa's gummies? I think that is so cool. And we've had so many that have taken advantage of that. So please check that out. And then chill doggies. So, Christmas is a tough time, just like Thanksgiving. It's hectic. There's going to be people coming and going. Not only do we need to get our immune systems up and healthy because of all the people that are coming into our life, but we need to do that for our animals too with our mushroom products. But also, we need to just chill the doggy, because the dogs need to be chilled during this time. It's hectic. There's trees with weird smells that they want to go pee on. The cats, they want to jump up and run around in the trees. I saw a picture the other day of 3 cats looking out of a Christmas tree. It was hysterical. But the chill doggies for our dogs are going to help to just take them down a notch. This is such a great, great, great item. If you could buy some, walk around your neighborhood, share it with your neighbors. They're going to love it. And then remember, at the end of the year, we have fireworks. So that's also going to help them. Kukla, what a dear she is, has posted the pet safety for Christmas. I loved that testimonial in the beginning. Mark put it up on Telegram with Kukla's assistance. I think actually Kukla put it up. But anyhow, somebody put it out, put it on the refrigerator, and it saved the dog from getting something it shouldn't have had that could have ended up in the hospital. So one animal saved by posting this in a lunchroom. And it just basically goes through the poinsettias, the mistletoes, the lilies, the holly, the amaryllises. They are poisonous to our fur babies. And I know that everybody wants to have them all over the house, but we have to be really careful. Also, peppermint, candy canes, xylitol, chocolate. This is so important that we don't let this lay around for our pets to get. People leave candy out all the time and the animals are like, ooh, what's that? Next thing you know, you're at the veterinarian's office with a very sick dog, and we don't want that. So it's really an amazing journey that we've been on with MarkZ's community. I feel like I have made 1,000 or more new friends. It's so great. And we're excited because on the 17th, if everything goes well, we're going to be broadcasting from our Christmas house with Mike Barra on Whiskey and Wisdom, which will be really fun. But helping close out, we just want to be here to help. If you have an animal that's going through something, one girl saying that her dog has an allergy to chicken. Sometimes it's not the chicken, it's the hormones and the antibiotics in the chicken. So try getting a better quality of organic chicken. But we just want you all to know we're here to help. And we love our animals. We love our fur babies. We love our family and friends. We want everybody to be healthy this season. We do have an affiliate program. Many of you have joined and are, reaping the awards of a little extra Christmas cash, as well as helping so many people. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Mark. Don't forget to go to markzpets.com and also email me at the original MarkZ for any questions you have.
I do. Every time I see Frito feeds, you talked about like yeast between their toes. I see that, and I just.
No, Mark, the funniest line on that was one of your first shows. A guy they were watching, and I said something about if your dogs smell like Fritos. I guess the couple looked at each other. They had been fighting because the wife was accusing the man of eating corn chips in bed. The best part was when they came back to me and I gave him the recipe of the vinegar and stuff to get rid of it.
Right.
He sent me an email that said, Frito, ole, ole, ole. Yeah, thank you. You fixed our marriage, but now she thinks I'm eating salads in bed. It was just so funny. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, we'll have to do that because you ladies are going to join again on the 22nd as well for like this. So that'd be a good time for you to share that homemade, Frito smelling Paul recipe.
Yes, I will do that. I'd be happy to do that. And then I'm hoping we're able to be ready on the 17th for Whiskey and Wisdom from the Christmas house. That will be so much fun.
That's going to be fun.
Last year. Yeah.
It's going to be fun. All right. Thank you, ladies. Everybody else, I'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, unless we have breaking news. Thank you.